Do you ever wake up and wonder why we've become so distant? That feeling can stem from many reasons, but one undeniable truth is that our bodies are changing quietly and silently. It's something no one can avoid as age draws nearer. It's not because love has faded. It's not because your partner no longer cares, but because of the changes in your body, changes that have no clear explanation and no one tells you when they will arrive. But this is the time for us to explore this together. Today, I'm going to talk to you about this issue. These won't be fake tips or preachy advice. We're going to have a real conversation to help you take control of the hormonal changes happening in your body and revive the emotional life that you deserve to have. I'm sure you felt some kind of lack, a vague feeling that seems unexplainable. This feeling can be likened to the signal of an old radio. The signal is still there, but it's no longer as clear and strong as it used to be. The cause of this change is the hormonal imbalance in your body, a physiological phenomenon that happens as we age. This is one of the main causes of the decline in sexual desire in men when they enter middle age. When men reach middle age, especially after the age of 30, their bodies begin to experience a gradual decline in testosterone levels, the main hormone related to energy, sexual desire, and mental health. Testosterone plays a crucial role in maintaining energy levels, stimulating sexual desire, and keeping the body functioning optimally. However, when the hormone levels decrease, the body may show signs like persistent fatigue, decreased energy, lack of concentration, and especially a loss of self-confidence. These changes not only affect the body but also deeply influence the emotions and psychology of men. The feeling of lacking energy and reduced sexual desire can make it difficult to maintain emotional connections and effective communication with a partner. When a man no longer feels confident about his body, this can affect the emotional relationship and bonding in the family. Although this process can cause anxiety and insecurity, it's important to note that the decrease in testosterone levels and the age-related changes are a normal part of the physiological aging process. This isn't something rare or unfamiliar. However, if you don't understand these changes and fail to intervene in time, they can lead to invisible rifts in emotional relationships. Therefore, recognizing and understanding this change is the first important step in regaining control and overcoming it, so you can find self-confidence and effectively restore your emotional life. There's a saying that I really like: age is depth, it is experience, and it is the lesson of true love. And I believe that this is absolutely true. Why? Because as we age, we don't just accumulate life knowledge, but also valuable lessons about connection and love. Don't think that when you reach the age of 50 or more, you no longer have the ability to love or feel attractive. In fact, men at this age, even though they no longer have the physique of their youth, are exactly the ones who become attractive because of their confidence, their genuine presence, and their sincere emotions. Imagine the story of Mr. Bill, a 58-year-old man who once felt invisible in his own home. He felt as though he was no longer the focus of his wife's attention, and this made him lose his confidence. But instead of sinking deeper into that feeling, he decided to make some changes. He started with small changes that had big meaning. First, he bought himself a new shirt, not because he wanted to attract attention, but simply to feel more confident in himself. Then, he began to create small but meaningful moments, like asking his wife a very simple question: "Do you remember the last time we went for a walk together?" Such gentle questions helped revive beautiful memories from the past and created opportunities for the two of them to open up to each other. What's important here is genuine care. You may no longer look like you did when you were younger, but the concern, the gentle gestures, and your genuine presence are what your partner needs. Genuine care is the foundation for you to become attractive in a relationship. It's something no one can fake, and it creates a deep connection between you and your partner. Remember, not everyone needs a perfect appearance. Sometimes, it's the soul and those small yet loving actions that make you more attractive than ever. Think about these things and apply them to your life, just like Mr. Bill did. Confidence doesn't come from changing your appearance or chasing society's standards. It comes from accepting and loving yourself, from showing care for your partner without needing to overdo things. Sometimes we live together for many years but don't really communicate with each other. You may see your partner every day, sitting next to each other on the couch, but the real connection, the sharing of deep emotions, seems to have disappeared. This is not an uncommon situation, especially when relationships have lasted for a long time and daily life starts to take over everything. But don't worry, you can change this. Start with simple actions. You don't have to create a big conversation right away. Instead, try starting with small gestures that have big meaning. For example, instead of sitting in front of the TV every evening, try turning it off once and making tea for both of you. This is a great way to create a quiet space where you and your partner can talk comfortably without being distracted by outside influences. Then ask each other a simple question like, "Do you remember the last time we held hands?" This seemingly small question could spark a big conversation, helping you open up and share emotions that may have been forgotten for a long time. Surely, such a question will make your partner reflect, and from there, the two of you will easily start talking about beautiful memories, emotions that once existed but gradually faded. This is the way to heal the invisible cracks in the relationship, to soothe anxieties, and to bring you closer together. One important thing to note is that communication is not just about talking. It's an interactive process that both parties must engage in, and sometimes listening is far more important than speaking. Give each other the space to understand each other better, not just through words but through gentle gestures such as holding hands, hugging, or a loving glance. These actions can say a lot more than words can express. When you perform these gestures, you're creating a safe and loving space where your partner feels valued and loved. For example, Mrs. Linda, 63, shared that after she and her husband began changing their communication habits in the family, their emotional life underwent a remarkable transformation. She recalled the times when the two of them sat together in silence for a moment, then asked each other simple questions like, "How do you feel today?" and shared thoughts about life. Simple actions like that helped them reconnect and create a space to understand each other more. This not only helped Mrs. Linda feel closer to her husband, but also allowed them to share emotions that hadn't been expressed for a long time. So, don't let missing words or silence take over your relationship. Instead, create those small yet meaningful moments. That's the key to bringing love and connection back into your relationship. Love doesn't need to be grand, complicated, or profound. Sometimes, it's the smallest and simplest things that create the strongest bond between two people. A morning kiss when you wake up, holding hands while taking a walk together, or cooking meals together in the kitchen. All of these actions are not just gestures of affection, but ways to maintain and refresh your relationship every day. Imagine the story of a couple in California that I'd like to share with you. Mr. James and Mrs. Helen have been together for nearly 50 years. After all those years of living together, they still make it a point to have date nights every month, even if it's just a simple evening for the two of them, without any need for extravagance or complexity. These date nights aren't about seeking an immediate sense of novelty. They're about maintaining their loving connection, reminding each other that love isn't just about grand moments, but also about regular and sincere sharing every day. One of the habits they've kept is scheduling a loving date every month. They'll spend an evening without phones, turn off the TV with only soft lighting and classical music playing in the background. They will have dinner together, sometimes a meal they've cooked together, and then enjoy looking at the moon. This may sound simple, but the care and attention to detail in these moments make their bond strong. They don't need to create grand events, but these evenings help them sustain their love and keep beautiful feelings alive. You can do this too. You don't even need to wait until next month. Set up a loving date tonight. A simple dinner with your partner, but one without distractions from phones or other devices. Listen to the old music you both love, or simply talk about the small things in life. These seemingly small things are what help you see each other in a new light, rekindling emotions that may have faded over time. You may wonder, "I'm already so familiar with my partner. Will these small actions really refresh the relationship?" The answer is yes, and it really works. Studies show that these small actions, though not materially valuable, have a powerful impact on our psychology and emotions. A study at the University of California found that couples who spend quality time together, even with simple activities, feel more connected and loving, reducing feelings of boredom and distance. So why not try it once a week or even once a day to create such a moment with your partner? You'll surely notice a small but meaningful change in the way you perceive each other. To refresh your sex life after the age of 50, it's essential to understand and accept the changes happening in your body. Specifically, hormonal changes can significantly affect desire and comfort during intimacy. For men, one noticeable change is the decrease in testosterone, a hormone crucial for sexual ability. When testosterone decreases, men may experience a loss of desire, difficulty maintaining an erection, and frequent fatigue or a lack of self-confidence. These are normal physiological symptoms of aging, but if not recognized and addressed, they can affect the quality of emotional life and a man's self-esteem. For women, the decline in estrogen after menopause directly impacts sexual health. Estrogen not only maintains the health of the reproductive system, but also keeps the vaginal mucosa moist and protected. When estrogen levels decrease, women may experience dryness, pain during intercourse, and a loss of interest, making intimacy with their partner uncomfortable. Although this situation may cause worry, Mrs. Elaine's story shows that with proper treatment and changes, positive results can be achieved. Mrs. Elaine, a 63-year-old woman, faced these difficulties after menopause. Initially, she felt very self-conscious and didn't want to be intimate with her husband due to dryness and pain. However, after discussing the issue with her doctor, she started using estrogen cream, a medical treatment that helps regenerate the vaginal mucosa and improve dryness. Additionally, she also used appropriate positions during intimacy to reduce discomfort. And importantly, medical treatment is nothing to be ashamed of or hide. It's a normal part of healthcare, just like going for regular cardiovascular or blood pressure checkups. If you're facing similar issues, don't hesitate to consult medical professionals for help. Seeking help is not only good for your health, but also helps you regain confidence and happiness in your relationship. If you're experiencing physical issues or feel hesitant about discussing them with a doctor, remember that many of us face these changes as we age. Don't let physical health issues linger and affect your emotional life. Be brave and seek support, and you'll find that these changes can be effectively improved, bringing joy and satisfaction to your relationship. Don't compare yourself to the image of your past self. That's unfair to you and doesn't help your current relationship. Instead, learn to love your body as it is now. Whether it's wrinkles, changes in your skin, or scars from years of life experiences, these are signs of a life full of memories, challenges, and precious moments. Your body can still be strong, attractive, and full of vitality if you appreciate and love it. We are often caught up in the beauty and health standards society imposes on us. But the truth is, it is the natural changes in our bodies over time that prove we've lived, loved, and experienced valuable things. Learn to embrace these changes and see them as a beautiful part of the maturation process. A wonderful story of enduring love and deep connection is that of a couple over 70 years old. Although they've been together for many decades, their love is no longer based solely on physicality. They share quiet moments, tender glances, and loving whispers. They no longer need to express love through strong gestures or passion like they once did. The most important thing now is their spiritual connection. It is the closeness that cannot be described in words, the feeling of being understood and deeply loved. Remember, love and intimacy are not just about the body. They are about the soul connection, how you and your partner express care, understanding, and appreciation for each other through small yet meaningful gestures. No matter how old you are or how your body changes, if you and your partner still love and care for each other, your love remains beautiful and eternal. So instead of worrying about the changes that aging brings, focus on the moments you and your partner can enjoy together, whether it's a gentle handhold, an intimate conversation, or simply a loving glance. These simple things are the building blocks for a lasting love, not only through time, but in every moment you share now. When we become aware of the changes in our bodies and learn to love ourselves again, love will never have an expiration date. Take care of your body, listen to your emotions, and love again from the beginning.